Day 3 on the Lost Coast Trail. I'm hiking the rest of this trail for my best friend Mike, my hiking buddy, who put this whole trip together and got us both out here. Unfortunately, he had an injury and had to be rescued. And so I'm carrying on in his honor. And so I figured a good place to start would be to say a few things about Mike. So Mike is one of the most dedicated nature nerds I've ever met, being a nature nerd myself. And he loves all living things, but he is a fish geek first and foremost. He's written 5 books about how to keep both saltwater and freshwater aquariums. And I think one of the reasons that he chose this trail, not only for the amazing scenery and challenging terrain, but also because of the tide pools and the elephant seals and all the other amazing critters that we've seen. So as I finish out this hike, I'm gonna try my best to showcase some of the stuff that I think Mike would be interested in. All right, here we go. All right, we got what appear to be bear tracks down there. And if you're not sure whether or not those are bear tracks, we got some bear scat to go with them. Pretty cool find right along the trail. Here's a closer look at these bear tracks, just for scale here. There's my hand. All right, so the tide is up right now, and I'm walking on this really, I don't know, pretty coarse gravel. The substrates on this trail have been really varied. We've got, you know, your soft sand, some really interesting super fine gravel that I don't know, it probably couldn't count as sand, but it definitely walks a lot like sand, but it doesn't hold together as well, so it's very soft. And then this bigger rock. We also get some sections with some big cobble boulders and stuff. I'll show you an example of it. Stuff like this, walking around these bigger rocks, picking your way through. Definitely adds an extra element of challenge just to keep up with the terrain. Even though it's pretty flat, it's definitely not what I'm used to being from Arkansas. So don't freak out, but just so you know, there are plenty of vultures hanging out around this rock section to help finish you off in case you trip and break your leg. And wouldn't you know it, ooh, stinky. This is probably what I was really after. Some sort of ray. Pretty interesting find. And wouldn't you know it, there's a trail. It kind of bypasses a lot of this rocky stuff, so I'm taking that. Check out this bird. Tell me that doesn't look kind of like a penguin. The beak looks a little bit. It's just sitting there. I'm not sure what it is. After checking my Merlin app, it appears to be a common mirror. Nifty. I've never seen. So there were some steps that went along the beach down there, but then there were some steps that came up right here. And I'll tell you, that's like nature's Stairmaster right there. That was quite the climb in that real soft, slippery sand, but it's a beautiful view once you get up here.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, I made it to camp at Big Flat. It was a whole lot of hard hiking, but we made it, and I've got some company. And y'all having a good time?
Oh, yeah. We're having a fabulous time.
Okay, yeah, we're all having fun. I miss you, though. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, okay. All right, start of day 2 of the video. Had a great time at camp hanging out with Mike and Zach, friends of ours that we made on the trail, and hiking into a foggy morning, hoping to get through the rest of the trail today so we can rendezvous. But I want to showcase as much as I can in that time, so trying to make a good pace. All right, so it's pretty clearly I'm now in the impassable zone during high tide, and you can tell because all these rocks behind me that we're hiking on are wet. Even the cliff behind is wet, and so that's, you know, this would be in the waves right now if the tide were above 3 feet. So we're timing this section to get through it as the tide is falling. Lowest point for tide is around 10:20 today, and it's about 8:20. So as I'm walking, the tide's going to be going out. This is a 4-mile section, but as you can see, the terrain is pretty rocky, so it's a little bit slower going than you know, like what I was on yesterday on those big flats. It's still beautiful, still a lot of fun. Definitely challenging. You got to watch where you step and take your time so you don't twist an ankle. But beautiful scenery as always. All right, so this is pretty cool. So we see a lot of these shells. This is an abalone shell. Look at the beautiful striations, that iridescence. But what's really interesting on this one, it's still there. Kind of reminds me of a chitin as far as the structure on the bottom. Kind of soft. Actually, you know what that reminds me of? Are you hungry? Because that looks like a yam to me. Nice little sweet potato on the half shell. Probably doesn't taste as good though. We got some seals over here. Really cool to see them. So I've been seeing a lot more rocks like this on this section of the trail. Not far from where those seals were. Also, the cliffs above are covered in this really interesting grass I haven't seen anywhere else along this trail. Super tall. Kind of gives it a sweet smell. I don't know if it's the grass doing that, but it smells nice. Anyway, this rock almost looks like a, I don't know, like a coral base or something, but a lot of them have like these, you know, inclusions of the rocks that are all around here, almost like it's been cemented together. Really interesting. I don't know what it could be all about. Hey Mike, look, I made an instrument out of this cup thing. Watch, check it out. Alright, we are just about at peak low tide. It's beautiful standy stretch through here. The fog is a nice break from the sun, to be totally honest. So, very good. Having a good time. More bear tracks. Look at these beautiful feet. Here's my foot. There's the bear tracks. Really cool.